Hey there guys, I'm SonicGhost and welcome back to some more Let's Play Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland. Last time went through the 6th world of the game, Orange Ocean, and this episode we're going to be going through the 7th world of the game, Rainbow Resort. Rainbow Resort here we will be dealing with a lot of ice, so if you're not the biggest fan of this game's ice physics, then yeah, have fun with that. And I'm not really the biggest fan of this game's ice physics because you're constantly sliding around, and it's really hard to keep yourself steady unless you keep on jumping, just like a lot of games' ice physics, but I don't know why, but this game is like really noticeable for that reason. You're always sliding around. I want to go ahead and grab myself Spark here. That should be the easiest to get rid of all these blocks. And just want to be careful over here because we got ourselves this guy. That's a really fast burning enemy, so I gotta be careful not to get hit by that thing. And he's coming around the corner too, so gotta be careful of that. But you actually want to keep some blocks over there because we have a little puzzle, kind of. I kind of consider this more or less like a puzzle just because you really need to figure out what you need to do before you even do it. Otherwise, yeah, you're gonna screw it up and you're gonna have a really hard time trying to get into this section here. What you basically need to do is you need to have enough of these blocks standing so you can go ahead and stand on top of them just to make this easier. Are these guys constantly respawning? Because I keep on saying Waddle Dees just walk out. Like, that's kind of weird. But you have these blocks up here. They're really hard to hit. And as you can see, I can barely hit them now. So, I actually break one of these. And I'm going to do this. If possible. And just like I said, this is really hard to do. Which might be a good point maybe to bring back Spark. If I can try to hit one of these with my beam, I can, which I did. So it's always good to at least have one block like that left over. Otherwise, you can maybe use Spark if you can, but I want to go ahead and lure over this enemy to get myself burning. And let's go ahead and break through these silver blocks. And that gives us our switch. The only two switches we need to worry about in this world, so there's no museum, there's just one minigame, which in this case we got the bomb minigame. And then we have ourselves a warp gate so we can go ahead and travel between worlds. That's it. And this one has a hard switch to get to, in all honesty. And if you know what to do, it's not too difficult to get, but it is more difficult to get to this switch than the switch in the next level when needing to get it, which is not going to be for quite some time. But with that, let's go ahead and move on to level 2. Now, this is a gauntlet. We're going to be fighting a bunch of mini-bosses, but there's actually two ways we can go. I'm going to go ahead and go through the first one, which is the bottom path. And this is the path they intend for you to go to the first time. And our first enemy here is going to be an enemy holding ability Crash. So, if you want an instant screen nuke ability, go ahead and grab Crash, which I'm actually going to do. Or not. Give me back burning, please. Thank you. That usually happens to me. I usually land right on top of the enemies, or they land right on top of me, whichever happens first. Well, we have another one of these screen nuking enemies in here. Mike. So, I guess I can redeem myself if I can get this guy. So, come on, buddy. Stand still. I never remember all these mini-bosses' names, so I do apologize about this entire project. I don't say all the names. I remember a handful, but that's about it. Like, I remember Fan, and Bonkers, that's because their names stand out or they're in other games. But we have Freeze that we can get next, which I'm going to want to take. And he should be almost dead, yeah, so give me one of your ice cubes. Thank you. And give me your ability. Thank you. Got Kirby rocking the Ice Climber look right here. Because he looks very much like the Ice Climbers would. Especially if you play, like, Smash Bros. Brawl or Melee. Because the Ice Climbers are in that game, you do get to see Kirby wear this outfit, so you can draw the parallels. I want to be careful here since I only have one hit left. And there you go. Bonkers is down. So give me your hammer. And we should be coming up to the end of this very soon. Oh great, we have Fan of all people to fight. Come on, Fan. Thank you. Now just stay still. Of course I get hit by the one stray apple coming out of, well, his mouth. I don't know where I was going with that. I'm kind of disappointed that happened because I had a good ability for this guy and everything, and Of course I get hit by the one stray apple. So now I gotta do this a long way. And that was at the very end. Because I do believe Fan is the final one needed to fight in this path, so... if that's the case, I'm at the very end of this part of the gauntlet, and of course, that happens. Come on, Fan. Come on, shoot another apple at me. Come on. Thank you. Now let me move, please. This is very uncomfortable. It's way too close. Alright, now just release your apple. Come on. And of course, that second time I fight the guy, don't even take a single hit. Figures. Really figures. Oh, I wasn't the final guy. Oh, hey, we have Bugsy. Hello, buddy. Really not good ability to fight you with. I mean, it's better than nothing, but still. This is not gonna be good. Should be careful. I still have to wait for him to shoot out some enemies for me to actually use. So, this is still gonna take just as long as if I didn't have an ability. Okay, careful. Grab the ability and shoot it back. Come on. Got him. Well, it didn't take as long as I thought it would, so at least there's that. But at least I get backdrop. And I have it for Burning Leo. This is not gonna be pleasant. Not gonna be pleasant at all. Come on. No, don't do your claw attack. Do your belly flop. Thank you. And that did a decent amount of damage, actually. I didn't know backdrop did that much. Because usually if I have it at this point, I just chuck backdrop and shoot at him. I don't actually fight Burning Leo with it. Nice, that really did a lot of damage. I'm surprised by that. I mean, I knew it would do a lot, but a lot more than I thought. But that's it. That's the end of the gauntlet. And like I said, that was one of two ways that you can go. So once we get to the end here, I'm actually going to be going right back into this level and showing the other way we could go. But I want to grab Sword because I kind of want something better than Burning to fight these guys with. And they give you a Metamato at the very end of this too, which is really nice since after all of that, you kind of want to refill your health. And give you a Metamato really helps for that reason, so that's good. But now that that part of the gauntlet's done, let's go back in and go through the top section. Just go ahead and hold up at this gate and you enter part 2 of the gauntlet, which starts with Bonkers here. And Green Bonkers nonetheless, so Bonkers is on both sides, but you know, kind of goes through a outfit change. But let me go ahead and take his ability since it's more powerful than the sword. And we have Fan, oh, of course. We have Fan with the hammer once again, so let's see if I can redeem myself at the very least. Okay, so far, not really. Just gotta take full advantage of this time, he's just sitting there. There we go. Don't even care about his ability this time, because I already have another better one. And we have Bugsy again. And that was just my own fault for taking that hit there. Just be careful, I'm about ready to die if I'm any more reckless. Nope. Okay. Never mind about being reckless. I am reckless. I'm very reckless with this guy, apparently. And, oh, come on. I jumped. Game must not register I jumped in time, apparently, because I should have lived from that. Oh, really? Well, we're going to be here a lot longer. Sorry about that, but whenever I don't have an ability to fight this guy, it could take a long time. Bugsy's one of the more annoying enemies to fight without a power for that reason. Since you're always having to dodge out of his way, he can jump all around, and his bugs fly all over the place, so it's kind of hard to get one, shoot it at him without Bugsy moving before you can shoot him. It's really annoying for that reason, but there we go. At least we got his ability. Don't need to worry about him anymore. I think that's actually the last time we fight Bugsy and a lot of these other mini-bosses as well. But we have another Burning Leo, this time Gray. So, there's that. Did a good amount of damage once again with backdrop, so just want to hang in the air for a bit until he jumps. Not that jump, the other one that you do the belly flop with. There you go. And let me chuck the ability and kill him with it. There we go. Now give me your ability, good sir. Thank you. And once you defeat Burning Leo on this side, you get a bunch of 1-ups. So if you want lives, go through the top section, but it is noticeably more difficult. So yeah, keep that in mind. And since I'm at the end of the level anyways, let me just go ahead and grab the Metamato while I'm right here. I mean, I'm 1 health away from full health, so it's not that big of a deal. And oh, it doesn't respawn. I thought for sure it did. Well, I don't really feel like wasting time with that minigame, so let's just quit the level. I kind of felt like a waste of time now, because I honestly thought that the Menomato respawned. I guess I was terribly wrong with that. In this level, they throw a lot of sleep enemies at you in the very beginning. It's kind of weird, but since, you know, we know at this point that sleep's probably one of the most useless moves to grab, next to light, we don't really care. We're just gonna go ahead and ignore all the sleeps in the beginning. And we should have a... Yes, we do! We have ourselves some invincibility up ahead. So we just get to go ahead and plow through this segment, killing anything that stands in our way. And we get to do it still here in the water section, but yeah, it's not as impressive. Let me have that one up, please. Thank you. Okay, that was unpleasant. If you actually destroy this block, you can get yourself a lot of health, including a Menomato, which makes putting those 2 bottles over there kind of useless. And you also get a 1-up. But once you do that, also those cannons fall, so I'm not gonna really care. You need to get to that 1-up fast, because if you leave it sit, it will fall. So yeah, that's one of the annoying sections to grab a 1-up. I don't really want it, so I'm just gonna leave it there. Thank you very much. But we have ball here in this next level, so I'll go ahead and take that. Get it all charged up and just hold right. Man, I feel overpowered just by doing this. Whenever I use ball, I feel that way. Let me have another one. Thank you. And we're in a room filled with these things, wow. Well, if you really like ball, this is the room for you. If you don't, well, I'm sorry. This is not the room for you. You might want to leave. There. If I get stuck between those 2 blocks, I feel safe. Or, if I have ball at least. If I don't, and I don't really feel that safe anymore. Okay, careful. Get out of ball, please. Thank you, and... No, thank you. I don't even know how to respond to that. That was just weird. Weird timing. Careful to not get hit, of course. Probably gonna die in the next screen, knowing me. I almost thought I was gonna die on that screen. But let me go ahead and ditch ball for now, because I'm gonna need something different to survive. There. Actually took off both of those burning guys for V's. Wow. That's really good. But let me go ahead and grab Spark here, since burning's not gonna be pleasant to have. Not at all. And I'll just go ahead and use Spark on all these guys. And not that. Not that at all. I don't want to get hit by the cannon. Okay, gotta be careful here. If I jumped, I probably would get hit by that crash. And over here, you could take your chance by going up there and get the 1-up, but you can kind of just float through the platform real quick and grab it, so... Yeah, you hit that switch up there to get rid of the blocks to get around it. But if you know how to time your jumps just well, you can get it before even going up to that section, and now you have to come back down for it, which is nice. When you hit that little block down there, opens up the way to get to the very top, which leads us to our goal. And there you go. That level's done. We only have 2 more levels to go. So let's see what level 5 has to offer. Oh, that's a lot of crashes. Kinda wanna hang back because I'm on 1 unit of health. It's really easy to lose this right now. Don't want to run that far ahead. Oh, I kinda spawned one in, then he kinda killed himself to respawn to kill himself again. Well, that's just kinda weird. Oh, hello, wheel. Just gonna sit here and hold down the button. Well, that didn't work. Try that again. It's kind of weird how they put that little wheel enemy down there. You can never get to him. He's just kind of there as a decoration. Weird when you think about that. Like, an enemy as a decoration. You don't see that all the time in games, although I have seen that in some games made by the same company that makes Kirby here. So, not that uncommon for them, but it's still kind of bizarre to see. And in this section you have wind turbines that can push you up and down, so you gotta be very careful of that. And it's really easy to get hit in this section, which I'm surprised I didn't. But in here we have, without a doubt, the hardest cannon to get to. And all this is for is 1-ups. So I'm gonna see if I can get to it real fast. Come on. Ah, almost had that. I don't believe you can actually use a laser in this one. You can try, but I doubt you can use it. Oh, come on. That will also happen a lot, too. I know that. Carefully. Okay, no, I'm not gonna chance that. Is he just gonna respawn all this time? Okay, well, he's done now. And now he's doing it again. What the heck is with that burning enemy? I'll try this a few more times. If I can't get it, I will cut to it, because I do want to show this section with the 1-ups, but this is a really, really hard can to get. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, got it. That can is really hard to time, but this is all you get. 5 1-ups. Is it really all that worth it now? Is it? I remember I did this as a kid, and I was so frustrated after I did this, because all it was for lives. And I honestly thought that that was a switch. If that was a switch, that would be the hardest one in the entire game to get. Hands down. Just because, okay, you have to time your shots just right with fire to make that cannon, and it's really tight to get in there. That's a multiplayer cannon to get to. And it's not even worth it. But with that, we have one more level to take on, level 6. And it's a throwback to the original game on the Game Boy, Kirby Dream Land. Which is why it's in black and white. So, if you guys have played that game, this is a nice throwback to you. And for me, it's a nice little throwback as well, because I actually did a Let's Play of the first Kirby game, Kirby Dream Land, part of the 8-bit summer. So I did that back when I first started in 2011. It's hard to believe that that was so long ago at this point. I mean, that was almost 3 years ago. It's really hard to believe. But this level does throw in a bunch of enemies from the original, so you're not going to have any enemies here that you can actually gain abilities with until near the end, actually. So you have a bunch of Waddle Dees, you have all the witches with brooms, you have the bees. You don't really have anything that you can use to attack, but this is all levels that we've seen in Kirby Dream Land, just all mashed into one. Every single last level, except for like the boss rush in the end, is here. All accounted for. Everything is black and white except for you and the enemies, which is kind of weird to see. But it's pretty nice just to see how this is a really big throwback, including the colors. And a lot of Kirby games actually do this. I mean, Kirby's Nightmare in Dreamland / Kirby Adventure does this, and Kirby Superstar also does this, so back in the day, Nintendo really referenced the first Kirby game by doing this a lot. And you pretty much play through the entire game with one level here, Nightmare in Dreamland, and Kirby Adventure in that case. And then you also do that with Kirby Superstar, since one of the first modes of the game is essentially just this. The only difference is you have more powers and it's broke up into multiple levels instead of just one level. At the very end here, we're going to be coming up to a door that we don't want to be taking. We actually want to head up here. Careful not to get hit. And we want to actually hold up at the moon, because the moon is actually a secret door, giving us our final switch. You also have a Metamato and a 1-up, making an even 60 lives for us, so that's nice. But with that, that's our final level there, all completed. And looks like my final time playing the minigame was a 2. That's a little disappointing, but oh well. But now that that's done, we revealed the boss of Rainbow Resort. But I'm gonna go ahead and end the episode here, guys. So next time on Let's Play Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland, we're gonna be fighting the boss of Rainbow Resort, King Dedede. I'll see you guys next time.